All right, here we go. Title Tuesday. It's going to start in 7 minutes. So we might be able to sneak a game in. Yeah, let's sneak one practice game in before we go. All right. There's our practice game. I think I had to let that one slip. Also was playing way too slowly. All right, so the round one's going to start in 2 minutes. We've got Caro on top. Who else? Nihal Sarin, Daniel Naroditsky, Hans Niemann, Bortnick. Oh, irrespective of how it goes, let's have some fun tonight. Chat is in emote only mode. And I probably should tell people in my Discord that I am online. All right. Of course, the one time that I need to get to Discord, it's asking me for my freaking password. Anyway, we will not worry about it. Will Magnus show up at the very end? That's what he did last week. Keeping the suspense. Christopher Yu has changed his flag to Papua New Guinea. I have a hard time believing that's where he is. Okay. Here we go, round one, and who are we paired with? Looks like a FIDE Master International. Try the Meroxy bind. Yeah. Okay. Not as familiar with this. Yeah, so he's got good knight versus bad bishop, which is ideal for the black side. He's got an ideal setup here. my bishop is basically going to be a defensive piece for most of the game. Because the pawns in front of it, the e4 pawn and the d5 pawn, those are not going to be moving anytime soon. Yeah, this is a tough position. Let's see if we can get away with sacking that pawn for some activity. Ah, very clever. Shoot, nice move. Looks like this is the only way to do it. Yeah, very nice. Nicely done by my opponent. That was a nice little tactic that they found. So this was a really nice move. The idea is if I take, they play check, and then after my king moves, that's checkmate. So I couldn't take the knight. And the other problem is I can't move my queen because I thought maybe if I move here, it'd cover that square. Well, that doesn't do anything either. because again, this is checkmate. The knight covers that square. So I must have had a perpetual. That's why the engine is showing equals here. So I played rook e7. Looks like that wasn't the best. Probably this, which I did consider just very briefly. So is the engine saying, yeah, see, I've got to play it so precisely. Curious to know. Oh, I see. Do it this way. And then I get this pawn. Yeah, this would have been better. That would have been the better way to do it. So in the opening, just curious. I know knight g4 is a line, but I haven't played against it yet. So bishop takes I don't think is correct. Yeah, and in fact, engine says this is, okay, no, it says this is fairly equal. All right, I guess that's just a line. One to remember for the future. Okay, let's see. Let's watch, okay, that one's a draw. Oh, the old queen versus rook endgame. Always fun whenever you're in time trouble to play this out. Nicely done by black. Oh, not yet. Both sides are missing it. It's tricky. 50 move rule draw. Black's going to be kicking himself because he had white right where he wanted it. Okay, let's go b4 for our loyal viewer Zor. I know he said b3 in the Discord chat, but b4 is in the spirit. Same spirit as b3. We're playing somebody from Greece, an N18 player. Not sure what N18 means. All right. This is a common setup that I've gotten here on chess.com many times before. Maybe I should have played h3 there. Playing with a bit of fire, I think. Well, we're going to mess up our king side, but we'll put the knight in front. I'm hoping to be able to win the c4 pawn. So that's how you're going to hold on to the c-pawn, are you? You found a way. If I pushed c6, he would have taken here, so that was not an option. Well, I think I like my position. You know, my pawn structure sucks, but I've got active pieces. All right, it's a bit of a risky move. Ooh, big risky move, because I completely missed that. Did I just mate myself? Ah, geez. That looks like I gotta come up the board. Well, now I'm not really liking my position so much. Crap, missed that too. Didn't miss that one though. Wow, what a terrible game. So up until I played knight e4, I thought I was doing reasonably well. Yeah, it says +2, and this is just a howler. Yeah, the evaluation goes down because after this check, the queen was holding on to that square. So if I come back here or here, the queen is infiltrating and checkmate to follow. So I only had king up as the only move. So I was considering this for the longest time. Maybe I should have gone that route in hindsight. I don't know why I was. I mean, yeah, he could go for the two rooks. Maybe that was best. Yeah, it still says that I have a +2, and I guess I get this pawn if I want it. Well, the engine doesn't really like that move. Is there a better move here for me? Wonder if I can do something like this. That might be okay. Okay, anyway, we are on the board. Not pretty, but we'll take it. 1 out of 2. Means we should have another strong opponent next round, perhaps an IM. Oh, a drawn endgame. All right, round number 3. Okay, we've got our third FM. All strong players thus far, 2,500. First black game, and here for Mr. Zor is a G6 game. All right. Nothing too special here. I think this is fairly equal now. Yeah, nicely done. All right, I'm very lucky to escape that with equal material. I should have played rook e8 rather than rook d8, so that when I took back on f6, my rook would have supported the e6 square. White is definitely better. It's better pawn structure. Yeah, this is just one of those positions that I'm just going to have to sit on, I guess. Somehow, some way. Oh, I could have played bishop c1 there. What was I thinking? Yeah. And I ran out of tricks. All right. Yeah, that was still a tough endgame. did not. I had to play super, super precise. So here, after I decided to sack the pawn for activity, I probably need to finally get my king into the game. Although that wouldn't have mattered with the bishop there, because the minute I move my rook, his rook can infiltrate. I mean, I also could have just gone for this, but maybe in hindsight, that's what I should have done. Yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to be a little too fancy, I guess, with that pawn sack. I mean, it's 0.6, 0.7. Anyway, where did things go wrong? Because, I mean, this is... I think at this point, yeah, knight f4 was a nice move. I should just take and not get too hung up on the two bishops. Then queen d7, I think I'm fine. Because what did I play here? I played queen d7, and then after knight f4, things are very uncomfortable. The immediate threat is to take here and then take here. If I play e6, g4 traps my bishop. So I had to go in for this. Now, I should have played this one. You know, maybe at the end of the day it wasn't going to matter much, but... Yeah, see, that's why I should have played the rook there. Anyway. All right, well, 1 out of 3. And is that it? I guess we are on to round 4. 4th FM. Our third white. At a Sicilian dragon, accelerated dragon. And a Polish opening earlier. This time we're going to get a Caro. This is a nice little line. White generally messes up the pawn structure for black. So right now the threat is bishop takes knight, and then I'll take the light squared bishop. So now I take, and they have to take with the f pawn. And we play knight f4 to hit the e6 pawn, which should entice black to play that move. And this is about the last that I know of the theory here. Something tells me that we should keep the bishop. Okay, all right. Well, I can win a pawn here. Just queen takes g5. All right, let's do that. My opponent's queen is undefended, so if they take my queen, I take their queen, and I have gained a pawn. Whether or not that's going to make a big difference remains to be seen. Okay, we're in good shape here. Let's keep it up. Knight endgames can be tricky. Looks like I'm going to lose one of the pawns. Ah, that's too bad. Nicely played by my opponent. Definitely messed that one up. Yes, I gotta go king e3. Why did I hang on to those pawns? Just throw the pawn. Man, oh man. My killer instinct has just been terrible lately. Okay, well, 1.5 out of 4. That's a really good start. Especially with 4 games against 2,500 players. So I'm feeling good about that. And are we on break yet? Not yet. So we've got some other games here. If the games are going to load. Oh, maybe we are on break. No. Grizzchuck. Let's check in with Grizzchuck. All right, this should be a draw. We can even give up the pawn and it's still a draw. Although we better be careful. Now apparently it's a win. Yeah. Tough. Must have been watching me play. Okay, folks, we're on break, so I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back a little early. Let's see if I can get my Discord working again. While we have the break. So we're on 1.5 out of 4 to start, which is not a bad score against 4 2,500 FIDE masters. So I'm pretty happy with a 1 out of 4 start, despite throwing away the win in that last game. But we'll have to move on. Okay, so we should be good for a break, and we're playing a 2460 candidate master. Obviously should be more than a candidate master if you're that strong. Although a FIDE candidate master is, maybe it's the same as a national master, or not quite sure how the ratings. I should look into that for my own curiosity. Yeah, I should get the theory on this. Try to secure that knight a little more. Now the question is, where do I put the queen? Let's try this one. It's very much like a Grunfeld with a knight on a5. Okay, I'm okay if he wants to give away the 2 bishops, because my pawn on f6 does keep the knight out of e5. That's interesting. I could take that. Oh, I see. Is queen e8 really something to be concerned about? Yeah, probably. I just got to bring my knight into the game now. Up a pawn, but I don't really think it's making much of a difference, because my kingside pawns are shattered. Okay. An international master once told me that queen endgames, it's a good idea to centralize the queen. I could take on a2. Then they're gonna play knight f5, king h7, and then what? What's the plan? Yeah, wow. Last 2 games are a lesson in how to throw one game away. That is just... That was a very sad display by me. Completely one game. Well, I shouldn't say that. Actually, the engine says that when I took on a2, it was a draw. That was a slight mistake by me. And I should have gone with my other move, which is what I considered, Queen G5. So that's a very disappointing loss. Very, very disappointing. Thank you, Stephen, for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, those losses, those are tough. Those are tough to let go. And it's basically my Achilles heel is, I'm not a bad blitz player. Obviously, got a 2200 rating and on both here and Lee chess. But that next level, 2400 level, that's one of the areas that I've got to get better at is playing faster, of course, but stop giving away one games or better positions. So I'm gonna have to think about that, how to not throw away so many games. Wonder how I can practice that. Well, we just had this endgame not too long ago. The previous round, I believe, which was a draw, and this one is a draw as well. All right, we're going on to round 6. We should have, okay, we have white. Let's go with b4. That served us well last time. And we're up against our 5th FIDE master. Another strong player, this time from Catalonia. All right, let's see how well they play with the isolated pawn. Okay, I was just going to say we threaten a cheapo mate, but we're given a gift. Although I am up a pawn in this position, and the engine is saying it's plus 3. So this is very promising. Well, very promising for white. This is winning for white. So black had to play g6 there. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do after that. My bishop is undefended, so if I move this knight, I've got to be conscious of that. I mean, rook d1, certainly logical, just lining it up with the queen. Certainly makes sense. Oh, bishop a2 might... that's a very strong move. Because let's say the knight were to move, well, we've got a pin on this pawn. And so I could play queen takes because you can't take the queen because that's check. So in order to deal with that, maybe black has to play a move like... okay, well, that would lose a piece because the queen is deflected away from the knight. Queen is no longer defending the knight. So black should play rook takes first. Idea being that now, well, I mean, now he could play bishop c8. But now the queen stays on. But it's still a very good position for white. Well, actually, that's, yeah, I'm making the same mistake. I could take here because I get 2 pieces. So bishop e8. And I don't see a knockout blow, but maybe we just gradually continue to improve the position. Queen e4 makes some sense. Hitting the knight twice and just getting out of the line of sight. Maybe we can go g3, h4, give our king some squares. So anyway, nice win for us. That gets us to 2.5 out of 6. Let's check in with some of the action. Daniel Naroditsky, what's going on with him? I think he could have played bishop to b8 there. So I'm missing something. Then he would have... Yeah, bishop to b8, rook c6, and then that would have won the bishop. All right, Daniel, don't flag. Going into an opposite bishop endgame. Which are highly drawish. I guess Daniel must have felt it was forced. So his rook was keeping the protection of that that bishop. Interesting, black decides not to take. suppose they're a GM and I'm not. I would have thought some practical chances in the opposite colored endgame, but looks like black is doing okay here. Has a very active rook. And the engine evaluation is showing. Well, up until there, it was showing that it is fairly equals. Now, of course, with only 2 seconds left, it's just a bullet game. So lots of mistakes are going to be made here, understandably. I think Daniel's got this one now. All right, white won on time, but he was winning on the board as well. Nicely done. GM Speed of Light. Who is that? Andrew Hong. I have no idea who Andrew Hong is. Well, I do know that Andrew Hong has lost to a strong FM. Nicely done by the FM. Flawless fighter against Jack Rogers. I think I've played Jack Rogers before. Well, for practical chances here, I like Jack's position. Well, that's one reason. 8 threats. Okay, round 7 coming up. Who do we have? We have another FM. 2400 FM. Are we going to get another G6 game for Zorer? No, we're going to get our first Scandi of the night. And our opponent is in a deep think. Let's see. Probably will have to castle queenside myself. Scandi is solid, just like a Caro Kann. You can get into attacking games. I mean, had I chosen to castle earlier on the king side, we would have had opposite side castling. And those generally lead to very active games. Attacking games. Both sides go after the king. But it also can be a rather dull game too if black wants it. Because as you are noticing, I've initiated a lot of trades. Well, white can take a draw if he wants it. Or he can outright win. Wow. Unbelievable. How I am messing up tonight. That's very sad. That is very, very sad. It's the second game that I've just thrown it away in like 1 or 2 moves. So I completely missed his idea. Yeah, I should have played a6, and then I don't have to worry about any of that nonsense. Yeah, very, very disappointing. Oh well, what can you do, folks? Yeah, those aggravating losses. Thank goodness I'm not a professional player. It's one way that I can cope with the losing, the losing. I can use the old "I'm an amateur" excuse. Well, I would say Hikaru's got this one. A little surprised that Daniel hasn't resigned yet. There we go. Nicely done by Hikaru. Let's check in with Grishchuk. Grishchuk is in trouble. The bishop can't stop both pawns. And there you go. Nicely played by the black side. Okay, who are we going to next here? Let's wait for the list to... Oh, I guess it's not going to update. All right, Parmov from Iran. Incredibly, this is still a draw. Wow. Okay. Maybe it was because the evaluation wasn't moving there. Pretty sure that black had the edge there. All right. And any other games? One more. Oh, another rook endgame. It's one good way to see how frequent rook endgames happen. If you watch Title Tuesday. I believe I read one time that rook endgames happen about 9% of the time of all endgames. So that's why they're so important. They happen so often. All right, well, we had a tough loss, but we're rewarded with playing an IM. That's why I like to play this. I don't want to play other National Masters, because I can do that anytime. I prefer to play the strong players. Okay, so that's about the end of my theory. Queen a5 I think is okay. So if I play f5, what's the idea? He's going to play e5? Okay, let's see what happens here. Dark squared bishop's going to be a nuisance. I do have to be conscious of this square, though. Don't want to fall into a knight fork. Okay, well, it's a good sign that they're not insta-playing. So if I take on e5, the knight's going to take, and then what happens if I play rook d8? They playing c4? Maybe I play. This is interesting. Like, why is there no knockout here? Rook d8, c4. Okay, I'm not seeing it, so let's simplify. Definitely want to check the engine after the game for what the engine recommends. Wow, guys, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. This is unbelievable. That's unbelievable, guys. That's the third game that I've just thrown away like that. I mean, I'm completely winning here. Completely. But I just... That's the thing with a knight. You always have to be on the lookout for a fork, and I just walked right into one. Like, so stupid of me. Like, I want to be able to play here, but I was concerned about this move. But, you know, even now that I look at it, I could have played bishop here. Unbelievable, guys. I don't know. Very, very disappointed in myself. This is just ridiculous. Anyway, let's, I want to check the theory on this just to see. I've had this a few times. So how come Explorer is not showing up? I have to put it in line mode? Like, I've got Explorer, so why isn't it showing? Oh, it's probably, okay, here at the bottom, okay. So Queen A5 is a move, okay. Or castles. No, Queen A5 is the move, then castles. H6, I think is what I played, yeah. Takes, takes. King B1, Rook G8. Okay, so what's the evaluation here for the engine? It's 0.7. Okay, so Rook G8. This looks all fine. G3. Bishop G7. It doesn't quite care for Bishop G7. What would it prefer? Castles? Oh, I made this mistake the last time I played this. Yeah, just go F5 right away. Because you make use of this pin, so they can't take. I wonder if G3 is not a good idea for white. Sorry, Rook G8. And white, the best move for white is to move the queen either to D3 or to E3. So what's the idea here? White just gives that pawn up. This white does have the active play. Ooh, that would be a very bad move. Getting both rooks. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That E6 makes sense here. This is almost a Najdorf-esque position. Najdorf or the Rouser? I think the Rouser's the one with Bishop G5. Okay, Well, the engine is really liking white here after e6, but of course, I guess black's not obligated in taking that pawn. What if we decide to castle instead? That really doesn't like that. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to have to study that line in depth. I'm seeing that more and more. Okay, so we're on break, 3 minutes left. Do a quick bathroom stop. Be right back there, folks. All right. Well, round number 9 is coming up. We're still on 2.5 after completely throwing that last game away. We've done that 2 or 3 times tonight already. So let's not do it in our remaining games. Let's finish up strong here. Got Taimanov or Kann. I go bishop e3, you go knight e5. I go bishop e2, knight c4. Yeah, let's just take what I normally do. So we're up against a CM from Mexico. Looks to be rather underrated, 1800. So I play f4. You're going to play bishop to c5 check. Do I care about that? Yeah, I'd probably rather not give that tempo. So let's play king h1. Okay. So I could take on d5 and win a pawn, but that looks to be rather suicidal. So let's just get the queen off of that d file. Is there no tactic there? Knight f6. No, because he's got mate threats on g2. So if I play knight g5, bishop takes. What am I thinking about that? Yeah, that might be okay. Oh, I should have played bishop a3. Oh no, I was preventing rook d2. Oh wow, I just made it myself. I just made it myself. This is unbelievable. This is like the third or fourth time I've just, in a one mover, just completely unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. And he's probably just double checking and can't believe that I just gave up the game. That's unbelievable, guys. It's got to be like the third or fourth time I've done that tonight. Well, based on that, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm not going to play the remaining 2 games. I don't want to, like I said, I'm not here to play National Masters and below. I want to play people that are better than me, because I can play people at my level at any time. Yeah, so it looks like I went wrong with what should I have done here? Just rook a to c1. Knight f6 apparently is something. Rook a to c1. Okay, so we're going to withdraw from the tournament. Right, because the knight covers c3. So c3 is not possible. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I didn't nap before. I was feeling good. First 4 or 5 games, I think I was quite content. But the last 4, that's unbelievable. Like I know that my queen has to stay on this square. I mean, and I was concerned about this because of the knight, but you know, maybe that's what I should do. Just double up and give up the bishop if need be. But for me to play the queen, knowing that I moved my rook up off the rank, and not to keep the queen on this line. I mean, he could have played rook d1 right away. I mean, he got fancy with the queen sack. It wasn't necessary. But yeah. All right, guys. We'll try again next week. I'm gonna have to work on some training for my blitz. This is ridiculous. So we'll give it another crack next week. So thanks very much for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a good evening.